My husband is dying. Despite his good prognosis after the accident, he gets weaker every day. After he couldn't even say my name, I got desperate. I posted details of his condition on every forum I could find. Medical, accident survivors. I even posted it on a sketchy, deep web forum called Help Yourself. That's where I got the PM from Crimson87. I can help you. I'll send instructions tomorrow morning. See. The next morning, I didn't get a PM. I got a letter. A real paper envelope tucked into my empty mailbox. After I got over the initial terror, he somehow knows where I live, I greedily opened it and read the note inside. Dear Blair, here are the instructions. Be sure to follow them exactly, or they might find you. Then we'll have a real problem on our hands. C. Number 1. Drive to the Costco. Bring a photograph of your husband, and something that is likely to have his DNA on it, like a toothbrush. Number 2. Go to the refrigerated produce room in the back. You will see a red-haired woman standing there, pretending to sort through the lettuce. She will be wearing a red vest and a Costco badge. But don't be fooled. She is not an employee. Number 3. Go up to her and ask, do you have organic blueberries? My son's allergic to the other kind. Number 4. As long as the produce section is empty, she will smile and lead you over to the blueberries. As she picks up a box and hands it to you, she will purposefully drop it. Oh no! She'll pretend it's an accident. Play along. Number 5. Such a mess. Blueberries all over the floor. She'll say, I'll stand out there and make sure no one comes in while we wait for the janitor. No janitor is coming, of course. Number 6. She will stand guard outside the produce room. Go to the right wall, where the crate of mushrooms is. Push it back towards the wall. It will roll into a small alcove. Beneath it, you will see a rectangular hole cut into the floor, and a ladder leading down. Number 7. Climb down it. My eyes flicked to the bottom where he had scrawled in red marker, warning, read before proceeding. 1. Don't just make a beeline for the produce section. They'll know what you're doing. Get a cart. Fill it with some junk. You should blend in with the other shoppers as much as possible. For that reason, don't wear bright colors or heavy makeup. 2. If a short woman with an infant strapped to her chest asks you for help, kindly refuse. She is one of them. If you look closely, you will notice that the infant pressed face first into her chest is a doll. 3. Don't talk to the man at the front of the store advertising flooring. He's not one of them. He's just rude. 4. Don't buy any food from the cafe. I folded up the paper and jammed it into my pocket. Then I rushed into the house, grabbed the items he requested, and jumped in the car. With a squeal of tires, I was on my way. It had been a decade since I last set foot in a Costco. Everything looked different. Bigger, emptier. The shelves stretched up to the ceiling far above. A seasonal section of glittering Christmas trees and dancing Santas sat far below. I rolled the cart into one of the first aisles. Napkins and disposable diningware stared back at me. I grabbed a huge stack of paper plates and dropped it into my cart. The metal rattled. When I got to the end of the aisle, I turned left. Excuse me. I turned around. A pretty blonde woman stood behind me. Yeah? She flashed me a sweet smile. I don't want to bother you, but can you help me get that? She pointed to a jug of maple syrup on a high shelf. I can't reach it. You're so tall. I stared at her, my heart beginning to pound. My eyes flicked down. A motionless infant was strapped to her chest. No, I'm sorry, I'm in a hurry. But... I quickened my pace. The cart rolled across the floor with newfound speed. I didn't slow until I rounded the corner. Then I grabbed a few more decoy items. Some corn muffins from the bakery, a bag of clementines, and arrived at the produce room. When I entered, there she was. The red-haired woman sorting through the lettuce. I cleared my throat. Do you have organic blueberries? My son's, he can't eat them. I mean, he's allergic to the other kind. Fuck. She gave me a smile and walked over to the blueberries. They're right over here. She picked up one of the boxes. Splat. I watched her walk out. When she was firmly stationed at the entrance, I ran over to the crate of mushrooms. I gave it a push. It rolled easily under my hands. With a final glance at the red-haired woman, I descended into the pit. The metal rungs were cold under my hands. They felt rough, as if covered in dust. The square of light above me shrunk, until it was little more than a twinkling star in a black sky. Smack. My feet hit the hard floor. The sound of water came from somewhere in the darkness, along with a soft rustling sound. I pulled my phone out and turned on the flashlight. Before me was a tunnel, roughly hewn out of stone, like some strange hybrid between a basement and a cave. I walked forward. The floor was uneven, and I had to concentrate to keep my footing. The damp walls glistened in the white light. After a few minutes, I found a wooden door set into the stone. I pulled it open. Inside was a dark, cavernous room. The smooth walls and rectangular shape looked like a traditional basement, but it had a rotten, swamp-like stench to it. In the center was a table. One leg was bent and broken. There was a sheet of paper in the middle. Leave the items here. We'll take care of the rest. See. I pulled the toothbrush and photo out of my pocket. I placed them on the table. I looked around the room, but as far as I could tell, it was empty. The closest thing to a person was a heap of clothes in the back corner. My heart filled with doubt, but I tried to focus on Dan and the happy life we deserved as I exited the basement. Dan came home from the hospital 2 days later. That first night home, we sat on the couch in front of the TV, eating ice cream, like nothing had happened. Guess I'm living on borrowed time, Dan said, through a mouthful of cookies and cream. Better make it count. By eating tons of ice cream? By leading a good life. Oh. He smiled at me. I reached out for his hand, squeezed it, and smiled back. But our smiles faded when the news came on. The newscaster was standing outside of the Costco. Dozens of police cars were parked around it, their red and blue lights cutting through the night. Tonight, police found evidence of violent cult activity at the Costco, she began. I jabbed nervously at my ice cream. Human remains, belonging to dozens of individuals, were found in the basement. They ranged from a few days to a few years old. Police believe some match the missing locals, but we're waiting on forensics to answer. The most recent one, however, has already been identified. It belongs to 24-year-old Carly Bessinger. A photograph flashed up on the screen. Blonde hair, blue eyes, a warm smile. It was her. The blonde woman who asked me to reach something on the shelf. Security footage shows her walking around the store 2 days ago, alive and well, until she entered the produce section. The reporter's voice faded. I wasn't listening anymore. Crimson lied. There was no them. No woman with a doll strapped to her chest, waiting to pounce on me. No evil entity watching, thinking, plotting. He just didn't want me talking to a witness. A victim. A sacrifice. I looked over at Dan. He watched, oblivious. A generic look of concern spread over his features. I looked down at the floor, unable to watch anymore. Dan's not on borrowed time. He's on stolen time. Hey everybody. Hope you enjoyed today's first of 2 stories. I want to take a quick second to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. It really helps the channel grow and reach more new people. I was checking recently and saw that around half the people who watch the channel aren't yet subscribed. So I hope you'll take a quick second to hit that button if you haven't yet. Alright, now on to our next story. Cross your eyes to see the hidden image. Becky sat on the floor, the book laying flat across her lap. It was one of those magic eye stereogram books, where you stare at a weird pattern, eyes crossed until you see the 3-dimensional hidden image. She picked it up at the library, because Becky apparently thought that was a cool thing to do. I don't see it, she whined. Let me try. I snatched it off her lap. The first page depicted a pattern of wildflowers in a field. I crossed my eyes. The image split into 2 translucent, overlapping pieces. Then they snapped together, forming the 3D image of a frog. It's a frog, I said, tossing the book back at her. She winced. Then she took off her glasses, brought the page up to her face. Her brown eyes went crooked. Her eyebrows furled. I don't see it. Let's do the next one. That page was just as boring as the first. A pattern of hearts and polka dots. When I screwed up my eyes, I could see a 3D cat playing with a ball of yarn. I can't believe I'm spending Saturday doing this. With Becky. She'd asked to come over in front of my mom, who was, of course, thrilled. Becky's one of the smartest kids in class. She's a good influence. Psh, good influence. I picked at my nails. Staring at my signed Ariana Grande poster, my pink wallpaper, my trophy from horseback riding. I bet Becky just has stupid books in her room. Oh, I see it! I see the cat! She squealed. We went on like this for nearly an hour. Finally, we got to the second to last page. Even I was having trouble with this one. Every time I crossed my eyes, the yellow floral pattern just snapped back into focus. I can't see it, I finally admitted to Becky. That's okay, she piped back. I stared down at the pattern and crossed my eyes again. For a split second, I glimpsed something 3-dimensional, that fuzzy, flickering depth in the page. Then it flattened. Don't focus on it, Becky said. I know. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. Then I looked down at the page and crossed my eyes. The image grew fuzzy. Then it locked into place. My heart stopped. It wasn't some cute little dog or cat like the previous ones. It was a woman. She stood still and straight, hair falling raggedly down her shoulders. No details or clothing, not even a face. Just that endless yellow floral pattern. But I could tell. She was looking straight at me. You see it? Becky asked. Yeah, it's a woman. I closed the book. Hey, let's go watch. I want to do the last page, she protested. But I want to finish the book. Okay, I said. I slowly pulled the book back open. The last page was a pattern of blue flowers, bending in the wind. Heart pounding, I crossed my eyes. It was the same woman. Closer. One arm outstretched, reaching for me. I shrieked and jumped back. The image collapsed. The book fell off my lap, onto the floor. "You saw her." I looked up. Becky was staring at me, hands neatly folded in her lap, glasses pushed up her nose, smiling. Yes, but then my work here is done." She lifted herself up off the floor, still smiling, picked up the book, walked over to the door. Click. I sat in my room, silent. My heart thundered in my ears. It's just a book. Just a book. My heart began to slow. Just a book. I stared at the wall, my eyes falling out of focus. Just a book. The pink floral wallpaper stared back at me. The image snapped into focus. A woman. She leaned out of the wall, the pink wallpaper wrapping around her body, molding to her face. One arm stretched toward me. No, please. I closed my eyes tight. When I opened them a minute later, she was gone. Or, at least, I couldn't see her without my eyes crossed. That night, I told myself it was all a joke. A stupid prank that Becky planned to get back at me. For the time I ditched her at the mall with Sam and Marin. For the time I laughed at her in class. But as I lie here in bed, trying to fall asleep, I hear something. A rippling, crinkling sound. As if something is moving around underneath the wallpaper. Today's story was also featured in a new audiobook written by Blair Daniels and narrated by me, Jordan Grupe. Check out Don't Scream, 60 Tales to Terrify, available now on Audible. This was my first ever audiobook narration, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. And the stories in this collection, written by Blair Daniels, were really, really good. Scary and full of great plot twists and interesting characters. Check out the description below for more details. Become a channel member today for early access, bonus videos, and special emojis only available to members. Check out the description below or click the join button for more info. If you'd like another way to help support the channel, please consider joining my Patreon page at patreon.com/JordanGroupeHorror. As a patron, you'll get access to bonus videos and content. You'll be credited at the end of every video going forward, and if you decide to stay for 3 months, I'll name a character after you which will be featured in a Hollow's End story. Links to join the Patreon are in the description. Thanks everyone for listening. Please like, subscribe, and comment to help the channel continue to grow. And see you again next time at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you have a great night.